Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. From the deepest jungles to the outmost reaches of space and beyond the veils of death itself, the Bald and Bonkers boys are back for another episode. It's no secret that you won't know what will happen next, but Dakota Franson and Chris Mole promise that all bets are off. Viewer discretion and straitjackets advised. These two idiots live up to the name.
Don't know. I honestly don't know what's going on there.
Jesus Christ, I just can't get a break. Why does it not happen with me?
Why does it not happen with me? Look at me last night. There was, 7 people in? And it started and it was fine.
I think it's just because of how we share the account. It's not exactly made for that.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe you need to start signing out and then coming back in again. Maybe
I'm the one paying the bills. You sign out.
No, that's what I meant. That's what I would sign out. That's what I would do, aye. That's really weird.
God.
I was telling everybody that the reason you're late is because you were abducted. You were up there,
Funeral.
floating round the moon.
Funeral.
Over here at a funeral? Oh, sorry to hear about that.
Yeah. There was a funeral today.
MD close?
23 years old.
Oh my God. What happened?
I do want to say this because last week I found out that we actually lost someone who's been listening to us pretty much since we started.
Really?
Well, never able to make the live shows just because of her work schedule, but yeah, she has been dealing with a lot of pretty severe medical issues, and last few months they knew she was on the downward spiral. She's been doing what she can. Apparently there's this foundation that's kind of like an adult version of Make-A-Wish.
Right. Okay.
So she's been spending as much time as she can with her now 2-year-old son.
Oh my God.
Yeah. 23 fucking years old, man.
That's terrible. Well, really sorry to the family, and we're here for his... I mean, that's terrible. What about her husband? That must be terrible. That must be devastating for him.
You want to know the one thing that's been on his head this entire time? Now, granted, knowing the extent of the research, knowing the extent of what was going on with her, unless he was into, stem cell research, the one thing he's been asking the most is there something more he could have done to save her?
Everybody says that, and it's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing.
I know. It's just 23, man.
There's Dots saying heartbreaking.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Dots, brother.
That's really sad. I didn't ken. I didn't know until obviously they knew, because I was wondering where you were. I was like, what's going on here? I actually was worried about you. I thought something actually had happened, because you usually message me.
I thought I was going to be back a little quicker than I thought was.
No. Oh well, that's terrible. It's going to put a downer on the show, but hopefully the wee boy, what age is the boy?
2.
hopefully he'll remember his mum. Yeah, you know I mean, he'll get to see her again one day. Yeah, you know I mean, as we'll all get to see our loved ones that we've lost one day. Yeah, you know I mean.
Yeah, I know. I know, this is one of those ones where we were expecting it for a while, but, you know.
Hey, Facebook user. Hey from VIC and condolences. Is there something people can click so as we can see their names? What is it? Is it a link that you have to grant permission?
I don't know, man.
Because it's...
Think there's something to it, but, yeah. I don't know. This is one of those things where you realize how young she was.
I know, that's just shocking. That is shocking, that. So, changing the subject a wee bit here. What possessed you to pick that picture for the show on Tuesday night?
So, for those of you who
everybody.
don't know, well, I'm building up to it. Fuck, I should probably just bring up the damn picture for maximum effect. So,
Wait till you see this,
those of you... Dots has seen it. I know he has.
He's ready to see it.
Hey, it was either that or showed the one of you in the bikini.
I must admit, I must admit, it went and face swapped me into a woman's body with a bikini, and I looked pretty good actually.
I got to admit, it is rather impressive how good those deep fakes are getting these days.
Emerald Isles Paranormal, welcome.
Oh, I bet someone is just finding out that you like to wear bikinis. But anyway, back to what we were saying. So, one of our more recent...
We don't wear bikinis.
I've seen a few Scottish girls in bikinis, but that's another conversation. Anyway, so one of our more recent guests, Danny Henderson, recently recorded an interview with Bald and Bonkers. She probably got a hell of a lot more than she bargained for. And there's the thumbnail if you ever want to find the video. And the reason why I picked this, Christopher, was because it perfectly shows Bald and Bonkers.
And it shows the Loch Ness, where you've seen the beastie in the water. And if everybody's wondering, I would like to point something out there. That picture there, to me, it's not a big, enormous chain round my neck. It's a dog walking chain. When I walk the dog, I put the chain round my neck so I don't lose it.
Yeah, you did kind of make yourself look like you're trying to be a rapper in that photo.
I'm a rapper, man. I'm a rapper. Oh, just don't get me doing that straight. A Scottish rapper. Hey, the new there, Jimmy.
I can't understand a fucking thing some of these rappers are saying in the first place. So
a Scottish rapper. Hey, the new, hey, the who, the ha, the he, who. What's that? Emerald Isles Paranormal. Tell the truth now, Chris. Well, as it's a dog lead, it's that photo must be what, 3 years old, 2 years old.
Well, we sent those right around when we first started, so a little under 2 years, yeah. God, I can't believe we've actually hitting 2 years now, you know?
I know. Our anniversary will be coming up soon.
I know.
It's madness. So, the subject tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be talking about the hearing at the Senate in Washington. Obviously, disclosure. Everybody's talking about it. All the non-UFO people. It's flooded the internet. They're all people that say there was no such things. There was no such things as aliens. There was no such things as aliens. They don't exist. No, they're like, oh, Chris, message me on Facebook. Oh, Chris, have you heard? The government's got the aliens.
Yeah,
I've been telling you that for years. You stupid person.
I just had that conversation with my 16-year-old cousin, and I'm just like, you do realize who your cousin is, right? She was apparently watching the hearing, which kind of surprised me.
But do you not find it really, it just shows you how bad this world is right now. The government come out and they tell people that they've got extraterrestrials that are stored away, craft stored away, and people don't really care. That's how fucked up this world is. I mean, saying that, it was quite funny because I was somebody I know in my village and like that, the aliens wouldn't believe them, would not believe in them because they seen it in BBC News. It's real.
Well, there's a couple different things, and that's actually part of what I wanted to do for the discussion this weekend. One, we've developed a mentality where the government has to be the parent, spoiling parent to give us everything. Two, I know at least here in the U.S., not a lot of people are in a financially stable situation right
Yeah.
now to really care about anything exotic like that. They're just trying to make sure they pay the bills, and there's a lot of remarks on TikTok, and I can't help agree. Aren't you a little tired of being in a life-changing moment in history every other fucking week?
Yeah. But it's
And three, and this is also part of the discussion. It doesn't. How about all those people who seem to feel that this is only a matter of distraction to point the faces away from the U.S. president right now?
Yes. I'm going to say something right now. There's something going on in the White House. The White House, something's going to happen with the president. I know that for a fact. Something's going to happen. He's got to get impeached, or something's going to happen. Right? Something's going to happen with him.
First
Did you
off,
see
people
what happened
need
to
to
that
realize
senator?
Which one?
Oh, the one that looks like he's 110.
Most of them
he
do.
walked up to the. I can't mind his name. Somebody help me in the chat. He walked up to the podium to speak, and he started speaking away. Then he just went, and he just stopped. He just stopped, and they had to take him away.
Hopefully, it's nothing more than a bad stutter.
But I think, I mean, what I was really shocked at, and I've kent it for a while. They've actually come out with it now. Is the fact was that the info has been out there. Of course it has, Dots. Of course it has.
I know,
it's just the stupid people of the world. It's like the stupid people of the world that don't believe in UFOs and the afterlife and stuff like that. No one believe it if it's on BBC News 24. It's the fact. Did you see what the senator says? How are they getting their money? Did you see that? I thought that was brilliant. Where he says, how do these organisations get their money? And the guy's like, oh well, say there's like 100 billion needed for this project, we take maybe 40 billion of that and keep it for this alien project, and the right to offer something else. See, that's crazy. That
well, the Senate has been going on inquiries about several almost $1 trillion, if I'm not mistaken, just missing from the accounts.
Look what happened before 9/11.
Yeah, exactly. Major insurance policies being taken out on the World Trade Center the day before.
The Pentagon, where the supposed plane, I don't think it was a plane, I think it was something else. Was the room where all the files were kept on the money that went missing the day before. And was it? It wasn't like trillions. It was something stupid like $500 trillion that was missing. It was just missing. And I think it's went to these secret space programs. That's what I really do think.
You also want to remember the CIA actually has ties to the origins of Al Qaeda and ISIS.
Yeah.
The U.S. initially helped support and train these rogue militant groups in order to fight against the Russians.
Yeah. And the Russians did the same with the Vietnamese.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean, what's going to happen as soon as the Ukrainians are going to turn on us, like the Afghans turned on us?
People already realize the number of news resources that were already reporting on the fact that ever since Ukraine became a sovereign state, they have been a major focus of trafficking efforts.
Yep.
And I also find it funny that, and I'm just gonna give the cliche little warning right now. I've mentioned I've had issues in the past, but if something happens, remember I'm not suicidal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that because all of a sudden my computer is crashing after I've been talking with some very interesting subjects.
Yeah.
About them having come on the show. So, being that I'm American, they're probably going to try to take me out first.
Yeah, look what's happening to Danny's channel. She's always
I
getting flagged
know.
for stupid things. That's
I
just taking
know.
the piss.
She
I mean,
already
she's
got
got a
another
brilliant channel.
copyright strike.
I know.
And she
It's
just
mad.
barely got the damn thing back.
If you new subscribe to that channel, guys, please go and subscribe to her channel, because as I figured, I was watching something today. It was really interesting today, the show that she was doing today. So please, could you go and give her a subscribe, guys, because it was a fantastic show that she did.
And
And I'm really annoyed. What's that?
Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, you'll get to see Danny start to realize why Bald and Bonkers is the way they are.
Yes. Bald and Bonkers. Two bald men.
Leave the writing to the good one.
What do you mean? I think I could be the next. I could be a transformer. What do you think? What about my transformer? I transform into like a 3-wheeled van or something like that.
More like a tranny granny.
What? What did you say there?
More like a tranny granny.
Oh, did you hear that, people? A tranny granny. There's Dots getting all excited in the chat. Dots, control yourself. There's no tranny grannies here. But honestly, I mean, like,
I'll send that woman of yours that bikini pic.
Look at the fact that let's look at what was released. I mean, they said they had the extraterrestrials, so they obviously still got them somewhere in freeze or in big vial things to keep them fresh. Mm-hmm. But here's an interesting question that I want to ask you, Dakota. Actually, what's this now that's going round about? And it's that Dr. Stephen Greer, and he's saying that the extraterrestrials are basically gave the government until the end of this year to get their shit together, or something's going to happen.
That's been going around for the right now, all around. Both the Federation and the White House have gave that ultimatum. Why do you think everything's
so
going
what's
so
going to happen?
Crazy?
What's going to happen if the White House doesn't do it? What's going to happen?
They're going to show themselves. They're going to show themselves no matter what.
So see, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the government's getting forced into this. They have to. Yeah.
And what? Here's my thought process, because we do have a lot of people that are basically saying that they find it awful fun. They can't help but speculate even more about the situations involving Hunter Biden, the potential Biden impeachment. There's an inquiry starting to go into that now. That senator's probably going to end up dead very soon. And the Epstein list. Something must be very interesting in those files for them to follow through with the UFO disclosure. Now, could it simply be a matter of timing? Possibly. But, like we were talking about when Dots was on, Elena always says that never trust if an exact date is given.
That's right.
Because it's not... Well, for one... Linear time only exists when you're on a major within the gravity of a major planetary body. So, like stars, planets, all moves differently. If you can imagine the struggle we have with time zones here on Earth, just imagine what they got to deal with. One. And two, you don't necessarily want to give away any plans. But given that by 2025 is supposed to be when the green, going green and Kamala Harris can flat out admitting that they want to reduce population as well as the World Economic Forum. But by 2025, clearly a date's been set. Something's about to go down.
But here's the thing. Well, the Galactic Federation and the other ones that I know them as, will they allow this to happen? Will they actually allow anything terrible to happen on this planet? I don't think they will. I don't think they'll stand for that. And I think they'll put their foot... I think they will stop it.
They are... You have to realize... This is one of those situations where... It's a lot like trying to help a family member with a drug problem.
Yeah.
Very morbid example, but the logic behind it stays the same. You cannot help that person until they want to pull their head out of their ass.
Yeah.
Same logic. You can do everything you can to help make sure they get to the rehab, they're not messing around again, that all your medicine cabinets are locked up. But they have to be the ones to take the steps. Federation is doing the exact same thing. They understand, because they've done this with plenty of other worlds before, that the world that they're trying to help has to come into the realization of their own. That realization is starting to happen, so they can slowly start making themselves known. The increase in UFO sightings that's been going on, one, is because people are starting to pay attention more, and two, is because they said, hey, you can fly around this planet, but don't really land until we say it's safe.
What's that, Doc saying? See, the change has to take its own course. Aye.
Exactly.
I see what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, right, when it comes to, and I know you've actually brought this subject. A lot of people have been asking me this: what about nuclear weapons? What about nuclear weapons? What about nuclear weapons? I don't think the nuclear weapons will get, even if they use them, I don't think they'll go off. And that's the honest truth. I don't think they will go off.
Because even if they get blown off on the planet, it's not just this planet they fuck with.
It's not just this planet. That's the thing. It's no. And it was quite interesting with the guy that hearing went and said, we're not just dealing with outside this world, we're dealing with inside this world in a different dimension, which is really interesting. I actually watched a thing about this, and you're going to find this fascinating. You're going to find this fascinating. Has everybody in the chat, have you seen the nuclear test footage with the house bursting into flames? What was if I told you that was fake? And it's been proven.
It doesn't take much.
Yeah. It's actually been proven that was a model. Yes, they did test nuclear bombs, right? They did test them. But they were saying they were testing more than what they were actually testing. Right? Because it's actually been proven to be a fake. It's the wee car behind it's a wee toy car. Because here's an interesting fact for you. See, that was a huge nuclear bomb that detonated, right? And we know that nuclear bombs can affect extraterrestrials or interdimensional aliens, right? Here's an interesting fact for you. That bomb destroyed that house. It destroyed everything around about it. It flattened the forest. But why did the camera taking the footage no even shake? You see where I'm going with this?
Exactly.
You would think that the camera would have moved slightly, or it would have only lasted for a few. And somebody will be there and said, aye, but it was reinforced concrete and it was all titanium. And
no, it's not that. No. Even if it was the most well-supported camera in the event of... Yeah, it would shake. But secondly, that footage would burn. Think about how the cameras used to run back then. Yeah. There would be scorch marks on that camera lens. You're playing on something on your phone too long, and all of a sudden you see it physically burns into it. The blast of a nuclear bomb, the light is so powerful, you put your hand up against your face to block the light, you see your own damn skeleton.
Yeah. See the hydrogen bomb the Americans tested. Now, where was it? Was it New Guinea? It was somewhere in the tropics. I can't remember exactly where it was, but it was the Americans. Is that what it was? It was the Americans and the British that were working together to test this hydrogen bomb, right? And I watched a program about this, and there was two guys in a bunker about 20 miles away on a wee island, right? And they thought they'd be safe. They thought they would be safe. So they shut the big door ahead. Have you seen this one? They shut the big door ahead them, and then they detonated the bomb. And they were in it, and the blast bypassed the island, and they could actually hear the metal outside the bunker melting. That's how hot it got. They survived, but they didn't think it would get that close. But what I'm trying to get at with this, with the disclosure, is obviously detonating these bombs were affecting alien races. I think after a wee while they started faking it. To say, oh, look at the weapons that we've got. Oh, look at the weapons that we've got to the Russians and stuff. But they knew if they detonated their nukes, their alien friends would not be happy, and that's why they were faking it. I definitely think they were faking it. and they also did it underground explosions, which is interesting because underground and underwater explosions with nuclear weapons don't have the same effect as air blasts because it's the way it works. What's that in the chat? Would have melted. Yes, it's fake. The camera did not burn. Video footage have. Aye, exactly.
Exactly.
A lot of what you see was faked.
Yeah.
The only real test was the Trinity site and stuff like that. The Trinity bombs, which they dropped, the bombs they used in Japan. Mm-hmm. And then they maybe tested a few more after that. Then there was the incident with the, Roswell. And then I think they were warned. I think they were told. I think these creatures came back, and I think they told them, "You detonate any more of their bombs, and there's got to be trouble." I honestly do think that.
Mm-hmm. How do I put this? You have to realize when it comes to the atomic bomb, real tests did take place. And that's why Oppenheimer may as well have been on suicide watch after he realized what he did. He regretted it with every fiber of his being.
Who was it that said the destroyer of worlds? Who was it?
That was Oppenheimer.
That was the one that was the destroyer of worlds.
I am Brahma, destroyer of worlds.
Yeah.
He was quoting a Hindu text.
Yes.
He realized he fucked up. He fucked up by making that.
Oh yeah, and it was Albert Einstein that said that the Third World War will be fought with the most sophisticated weapons known to man, but the Fourth World War will be fought with sticks and stones because let's face it, there'll be no many folk left. There'll be many folk left after it.
And a lot of people don't realize. When you go to mess with shit at the molecular level, you're not just messing with whatever you're seeing in front of you. You're messing
with different realities, different dimensions.
Atoms themselves have been shown to take different paths moving through space.
Yeah.
And every single one of those paths can easily butterfly effects, just to simplify it, into various different realities.
You do something here, and it could affect something over here.
Exactly.
Now, it might be billions of light years away, in a different galaxy somewhere, far, far away, like Star Wars. Far, far away. You detonate that thing that affects it, could affect the creatures or whatever inhabits that space.
The way the alien craft work, and the reason why there were so many crashes, not just Roswell, you also have Black Forest, Germany, that was a couple of years before that.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically, where all Grimm's fairy tales take place. Mm-hmm. A little fun fact for you, ladies and gentlemen, that Peter Pan may have been an alien. And Nazis were all over this. You know, the Thrill Society, they were heavy into this. But Chris was actually the one that pointed this out to me, and which kind of surprised me when it happened, but nevertheless. Yes, sightings did take place, but you gotta admit, right as those bombs started to take off, that's when it started coming in full force. You don't exactly start showing up in full force like that unless those bombs somehow affected you. And just because of how those craft work, that essentially fucked up. That's essentially like blowing a bomb up in the path of a surfer. That surfer's going to end up in the water.
Look, and this is what I need to tell folk out here, right? Folk that are watching this and know that have just seen about these aliens. I don't think you'd realise, this is for the non-believers out there that have just awoke. I don't think you'd realise how technologically advanced these beings are. Some of them are millions of years more advanced, right? They've got ships. Have you seen the footage that's been leaked? I don't know if it's real or not. And it shows you the Iranian government firing at an orb. Mm-hmm. Have you seen it? It was released yesterday.
Yeah.
And it shows you the Iranian government, and they're firing absolutely everything at it. Flak guns, machine guns, missiles, Everything. There's jets chasing after it, Apache helicopter, they're firing everything at it, right? Everything's going straight through it. It's not even touching it. It's not even touching it.
And there's several government insiders. In fact, there's a former CIA operative. His name's Andy Bustamante. I've been trying to get him on the show for a while now. Mm-hmm. He started talking about this, and yeah, the whole security threat is very real because they realized, oh shit, there's somebody out there with better guns than us.
I'm going to.
You're one of the most. I'm just going to say this. Think about it from the big bad bully U.S. perspective. Mm-hmm. We have all the fanciest toys. We love our guns. We shoot everything we got at something, and it does either does nothing, gets shut down, or goes straight through the damn thing. We're going to get a little concerned.
Yeah. The thing about these extraterrestrials out there, they've obviously been watching this for a long time, right? And some of them actually come for the Earth. That's what I was trying to tell somebody the other day. I was like, they ken that some of them live here. I'm like, wait, what do you mean? I don't see them in my street. Well, it's not as if they've got to live next door to you. But mind you don't know that. Well, some of them do look human. Some of them are here. But we've got the Pacific Ocean where there's meant to be like cities, alien cities down there. And I just think people need to be cautious. Very cautious of what's coming. I think people can panic. And which I'm actually quite surprised, the way they're handling it right now. They're not running about screaming, saying the end of the world and all that kind of stuff. I'm actually quite surprised at that, right? But you're going to get people. I mean, you just look at, was it Heaven's Gate? I mean, you're going to get this. This is going to happen. You're going to get people that say, "Ooh, look, the giant aliens, they're coming. If everybody takes this, we can join them." Don't fall for that. Because whoever's running that's an idiot and is mad and he should be sectioned and put in jail or whatever. Yeah, I mean, don't.
He was sanctioned. Look what happened.
Aye.
The founder of Heaven's Gate was sanctioned before he did that.
Was he? I didn't ken that.
Yes, he was!
There you go.
Now, with everything that's come out, you can't help but wonder, was something actually talking to him? I mean, think about it.
Was it good?
Exactly. Think about it.
I don't think it was good. I think it was bad.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. With everything that's come out right now, think about it. How many people have we locked up, sanctioned off, locked up into mental asylums for schizophrenic-related diagnosis? How many of them were legitimately getting fucked with?
Loads of them. We just need to look at this Emerald Isles Panorama. I've always wondered who is the bald in Bonkers. I think Chris is the Bonkers one. So there you go. Dakota's actually the sane one. Out us group. Look at the people that we know in the paranormal field that were put in mental asylums because they could see spirits.
Look at how many people have been in mental asylums that don't necessarily want to deal with anything paranormal because they tried to tell their families about this and only got locked up. And so they're just like, fuck you! I mean, even Bob Lazar has come out and said, told you so.
See, I found that quite intriguing too. Obviously, I knew a lot of the stuff already about what they were talking about at that thing.
Yeah, and but it's starting to gain a whole new light, isn't it?
Aye, it was quite interesting where they went, if we get technology back, engineered technology, of course we've got back into fucking technology. Where do you think the cell phones and microchips and all this stuff came from? Okay, I mean, where do you seriously look how quick our technology's jumped since 1950. Look how quick it's jumped. And you look at the technology we're using now, right? Can you imagine what the secret government, what they've got stashed away? The anti-gravity devices. They've got ships that could probably take about 5 minutes to travel from Earth to Mars. They've probably got ships that could travel out of this solar system. They've probably got colonies in other worlds as we speak with the secret space program.
I mean, think about it.
Mars isn't what you think it is.
We have had hackers go into NASA that found details about colonies on just past Pluto.
Here's one for you. Do you believe there's rovers on Mars right now?
They are, but they're in very desolate, relatively desolate locations.
See, I was watching stuff on this, and it's really intriguing. There's where a rover's been taking snapshots, right? And in the horizon, you can see a bird. You can clearly see a bird. Either that species of that planet, and they're no telling us it's actually got an atmosphere, or it's somewhere sitting in the desert, somewhere on Earth. And it's the same with the International Space Station. It's the same with the International Space Station. Now, I'm going to go down this route, but just bear with me here, right? I'm going to mention the Flat Earthers here. The Flat Earthers think that the International Space Station is fake, right? They think it's CGI, stuff like that. What happens if the International Space Station is real, right? But what happens if all the walking in space and inside the space station that you see and you see with your eyes is actually faked at NASA? What happens if it's up there, right, and it's used for miscellaneous? It's maybe no use for what it's used for. You see where I'm going with this? The International Space Station might just be something for people to throw money at, whereas they're really using the real money to pay for other black budget things. See?
You do realize that on a civilian level, we have the technology to run dial-up internet speeds on Mars?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
See, I think there's more to Mars than meets the eye. I think it's got an atmosphere. It might be thin, but
very thin one.
Yeah, I think it has got an atmosphere. And before anybody listens, the Earth is not flat. The Earth is a planet. But what I'm saying is, with the International Space Station, I think there's more going on there than meets the eye. I don't think that's what it really is. I think that's just a decoy for something. Have you noticed that if there is a flat Earth tax, that would end the... Would they actually? That's a good idea, actually.
That's a good one, brother.
Oh my god. But look, honestly, I think they're using money for obviously secret things, right? Mars, I think there's so much more going on in Mars than meets the eye. There's so much more going on in Mars. And it's quite interesting. I watched an interview, I think it was Buzz Aldrin. And he was talking about when they were on the moon. And he looked up and he seen something moving. Just in the horizon. And it was like a saucer-shaped shape, just moving in the horizon. I think I would like to hear what Buzz Aldrin would say about all this release stuff. I wonder if he'd be allowed to come out now and say anything.
He's been saying things for a while.
But I know he's been saying things, but then he stops saying it again, and then then he does.
This is what I'm. Buzz Aldrin and Joe Biden, they're about the same age group.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I was. But here's the thing. Buzz, he's pushing 100, ain't he?
Yeah.
Here in a few years. Okay, he's past the old age point of giving a fuck. So he can pretty much just say anything what he wants. And yeah, he's probably going to have people that go to correct him because he still has the old ties. But this is also one of those things where a lot of people are confused about the Kennedy files, being that a majority of people involved in that are either too old, senile, or dead.
See, I find that kind of strange. Why are they not letting the files out?
Just look at the photos of the new president being inaugurated right after the Kennedy assassination, with Jackie Kennedy still having her husband's blood on her.
Yeah. I think I'm going to say, if we disappear, guys, one dark and stormy night, remember, we'll see you all in the spaceship. But otherwise, I definitely think the US government did in their own president.
I'll do you one better. Let's fast forward to the modern day. Speaking of the Kennedys, did you? Okay, you know that when a presidential campaign runs, all eligible candidates are given Secret Service protection, right?
Mm-hmm.
Robert Kennedy's been denied.
Why?
That's a very good question. Robert Kennedy's been denied Secret Service protection.
Why?
Now, granted, nobody would probably think much of it, being that he's a Kennedy, and he's been very open about talking about the shit that's happened to his family.
They want something to happen to him. That's what they want.
They're very afraid.
Yeah, it's like but Trump came out yesterday and said. Did you hear what Trump said yesterday? It was quite interesting.
Yeah.
He says that Joe Biden's not the same person that he was. It's quite interesting. It was just the way he talked. He says, Joe Biden has changed. He's different. He doesn't look the same. It's just the way he said it. I think he was trying to tell people that... I see, to be honest with you, see that president you've got, I think there's doubles. I think the White House has got doubles everywhere. I think there's about 3 or 4 of the different ones. Because there's days that the guy's all right. There's days that he's walking about. He walks about like a puppet. You ever noticed that?
Yes, so did Reagan for quite some time.
Well, he's missing the strings, you know.
So was Reagan for quite some time. But it's actually known that the White House does use doubles. The official reasoning behind it is for press. Now, granted, Biden's age, if we were to just look at him as just a regular other old guy, even people who have no medical experience would go, is he all right? And it just could very well be a situation where he has good days and bad days. But because it's the U.S. president, everybody wants to speculate. And quite frankly, being how many conspiracy theories have been proven true, everybody's willing to go up to bat now.
If we could go back 20 years and all the folk were running about saying there's aliens, and there's no such thing as aliens, or there's no such thing as ghosts, or that, and it's all getting proven now. It's quite interesting because a lot of folk that I used to talk to on Facebook don't talk to me anymore because I'm right about aliens.
I know.
Hello!
I missed you!
Mm-hmm. You know I'm right.
Yeah, no, because people are so clingy to their ego that they're not willing to say the words, I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And it's perfectly fine. This has been shit we've been talked about that I've been more than happy to be proven wrong. In fact, if you think you got a good counter argument, let's talk about it. Let's have a discussion. Come on the show!
It's like the Flat Earth Society, they'll not come on because they know that what they're talking about is an absolute pile of bullshit. And they know that they'll get beaten on it. I mean, I could talk about the Flat Earth Society all night. We should do a show together talking about the Flat Earth Society.
Oh, I imagine after meeting Dots, I imagine he would have quite a few to say.
I find it ridiculous. It was started, everybody knows that the Flat Earth Society was started as a bet with somebody. Okay, I mean, everybody knows that, and it makes a lot of money. It makes a lot of money in all these mad books that have been written. Okay, I mean, but there's actually proof out there with the alien stuff now. There's proof out there. I wonder what it will be like in maybe 3 years' time, 4 years' time. I wonder where we will be.
Dude, you want to know what I'm honestly concerned about?
What?
And before anybody goes to try to pop off, just hear me out first. Some of you seem to go on the comments section acting like it's the live chat. I honestly fear that the day that my little sister gets rushed to the hospital because she's having the baby, within 24 hours I'm going to have to explain to my mother that she already had grandkids and they're coming out of those spaceships.
Well, I just hope and I pray.
How things are going right now?
I just hope and pray that you're not made to pay back child taxes on that. Knowing you in the US, you're going to have to.
But they were in
It
Federation
doesn't matter.
custody.
You came to the US
Yeah, it
tax
does.
system's like,
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. Again, and this can be proven, only 10% of the world's wealth is physical cash.
yeah. I'm going to say
When
this.
you have a system like that, that's
Yeah.
going to fuck up soon.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to predict something this year. I bet the financial markets all in the world collapses this year. And everything goes into the CBDC or whatever it's called. I bet you it goes into that digital currency. Did you see what they're doing in the United States? I don't know if they're doing it in Europe yet. They're actually paying people 50 of these internet credits to take a retina scan of your eye. Oh, there's Danny in the chat. There's
Oh, Danny, we were just talking about you. All horrible things, of course. Joking.
Yeah. But I do think that the financial system this year is going to collapse. There's a prediction for you. But I think they're actually going to come out with, I think they're going to show the aliens. Do you know that? I think they're going to show them.
They're not going to have a choice.
But how's that? See, this is going to cause problems for the US government. Because the people will be like, wait, the news, so all our tax money, all these trillions of dollars that's went missing, you've been doing things, shoving away technology and stuff like that. This is going to cause problems, big problems. And,
It is.
And then it's going to come down to I know what Danny said about the extraterrestrials at Roswell and stuff like that, how the souls come out them and they went into something else. But still, we did that to the poor things, and I feel as a human being that's really irresponsible, and I think the people, if they're still alive, should be held responsible for this. See if we've shot any of their craft down, if we've shot any of them down, if we've managed to, right? Say we're radar, or say we've got secret weapons that we can take these things down with, because let's face it, we probably have got secret weapons that can take these things down with. I think the people that's done this should be held responsible.
That's the thing.
I think they should be held responsible. I know what Dot said and all that, we shouldn't pingu on this, but I think there still should be a public hearing on it, and I think these people should maybe not get to jail or something like that, but I think it should be explained. You know?
Here's the thing.
Bond and Bonkers.
Remember what was being said about when Danny was on?
Yes.
Anyway, he has to remember, Chris, there have been groups that wanted to say, you know what, fuck these guys.
No, I don't mean it.
No, just
I don't mean
hear
the
me out.
vaporizing kind of thing.
No, I'm just gonna say this. There's a reason behind what I'm saying. Calm down, you little fart. And we've known since at least the 40s and 50s, and there's declassified files on this, saying that these beings that are making contact, they... Oh God, that sounds worse. Sorry, I was just reading the chat. Saying that these beings that are making contact, they don't necessarily want to start a fight, but if we try, we lose.
Aye. I know we wouldn't last long against them, right? Maybe a full 3.5 minutes, right? But I know we wouldn't last long, no even that. We wouldn't last long against them. But here's an interesting... Obviously, there's been extraterrestrials at Roswell, what we've got our hands on and stuff. Do you think we've ever... And I found it quite interesting when they were talking about how there's been humans hurt in the process of going to crash sites and stuff. Do you think... Let's mention the Palladians, for instance, the big tall blonde bands with the blue eyes and all that kind of stuff, and the long wavy hair that you see yourself. But anyway, never mind that. Do you think we've ever taken any of them captured? Do you think we've ever captured any of them?
Yeah.
And done stuff to them?
Most of the ones I've been aware of were alive.
So did they make it back again? Or were they still in a cell somewhere?
No, they were brought in voluntarily.
Right.
And because they looked enough like us, they were able to walk around without question. But it's just that one little voice inside people's heads that we would go like, why does that person feel weird? You know? most would assume that it was something nefarious, like,
I
oh,
will,
he's probably a predator. Ugh! Like
no.
any so-called
I will
feminist that
say
looks at
this:
anything with a
the
penis.
Palladians, either they look kind of like humans, but they're obviously different. You can tell they're different. You can just tell by looking at them; they look totally different. Get what I mean? And
You know, that's one of those things where I've seen people comment on people who have certain features that would be associated with the Nordics and all that, and I just can't help but wonder. It's like I can't help but feel like that's slightly insulting that you people think you're so funny looking that you're not from the same planet.
who?
You know what I
Me?
mean? No, just think about it.
I know. I can see your point
How
there.
do we know? I mean, it's just like on the Galactic Dudes. Ju Chen, he was talking about a gentleman that was at Jisik that had kind of white hair, kind of palish skin, where he physically said, "If you're not an alien, I'm sorry."
There's a question for you, Emil Dial, for you to go on.
All right, so because we do read this on the podcast, what is your opinion on why now? Why did that they come out? Do they think we are stupid and could not handle it? Do they think they have a right to know, or is it just a smokescreen for something else? Okay, complex answer.
Right, on you go.
It is very possible that the world governments are falling in line to something that's already been planned a long time ago because they realize that that is their only chance at covering up the fact that they have been up to some serious shit. As I was trying to say before, Chris does as usual and interrupts me. There have been diplomatic efforts in order to try to solve these issues because the Federation of Worlds, they have an interest in our planet because they see us as the younger relative, for lack of a better word, that is basically running themselves into walls, not realizing what they were doing. The reason why now is because they had to prime us so we don't freak out. We don't have an Orson Welles World of Worlds incident. Even though where that broadcast was even admitted at the very start to be a fake broadcast to promote a book. People still freaked out and even killed off their own children so the children wouldn't have to deal with the alien invasion.
Yeah. Do you want to breathe now? Look,
Chris, my record for going off on a tangent is 6.5 hours, so don't try me.
I'm amazed at how well the human race is actually taking some of this disclosure right now anyway. I mean, folk are chilled back, like, oh, aliens exist, did you know that? Which
the discussion is actually happening now, which is the first step. And well, so like I said, of the timing is going to happen where I'm going to have to choose between going to the hospital to support my pregnant sister or going to dealing with outer space because I know I got kids coming out of those ships.
Well, I'm just looking forward to the spaceship coming down so as I can climb aboard it and get off this planet. I know that sounds bad, but I want a holiday. Maybe 10
and I'm going to have this typical space nerds fantasy of having a sexy lady woman carry me off.
I know. You're going to be shocked as if she comes after the spaceship and she turns into this big blob with 10 eyes.
No, she looks like a blonde Asian woman.
Oh, God. Well, there you go. With that, Emerald Isles, I think we are just bored of the lies drama is now... the world,
that too.
Aye. the world's falling apart. We need something to happen soon before the world falls apart even more. I mean, just look at Europe and the food shortages there's got to be and the price of electricity, and they say there's global warming, but actually when it's all this agenda stuff. And look, we need to stop this fighting with everybody, and it's the same with religions out of the world too. Religions are causing a lot of this problem. Okay, I mean, it's like obviously I'm in the paranormal field, and you come across spirits that are no want to cross over because they think they're going to the pits of burning hell because they believed in the Bible. Okay, I mean, I'm not saying that the Bible's real, or I'm not saying that the Bible's fake, but what I'm real or fake. Okay, I mean, you have to know that there's more out there. Obviously, there's a creator, something that created everything. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'll ever know until I die and go up there. But I think we all need to try and work together better, guys. We need to try and work together better. That's the only thing I would say is see these Senate hearings and that. I think they should be talking to normal people, no just jet pilots. They should be talking to people like Elena. They should be talking to people like Danny. They should be talking to people like Yudiko. They should be talking to people that have had these experiences with these people. I'm just going to call them people. I'm not calling them aliens anymore. I'm going to call them people because I feel it's bad. Okay, I mean, that's us subjecting kind of. I think they're just normal people. They're like us. They've been watching this for a long time. What's your opinion on that, Dakota?
Okay. You brought this up after we got off the air with Danny, and I was just going to say this. In my case, dude, we're talking about Washington. If they're wanting proof of my story, they're going to want to see a sex tape.
Well, it can make it done. Galactic Federation, can you hear me? Is that? Remember, they've got some CTV footage up there or something like that, you know?
Oh, she's face palming herself right now. Yes, I did say that, but you know I'm right.
Remember what happened? Remember what happened when we first started getting into this and you did your EMF meter and I mentioned the whips and the chains and stuff like that? The thing went off the scale every time you mentioned it.
Yeah, that's my wife fucking with me.
Terrible. She
has a twisted sense of humor, but think about it. If she's my wife, she has to put up with me.
I know. I would lock myself in the airlock and just flush myself into space.
Why don't you go do that? I'm just kidding.
That's all right. So look, I think we need to all support each other, right? And we'll have to stop fighting because the fighting is causing a lot of problems. It really is. I bet you even when the aliens show up, the people show up or whoever they are show up, I bet you they're still humans are going to try and cause bother. Yarn bloody teed. But it's like the humans on this planet that don't like anybody else because of their skin colour. See, a purple alien turns up, a blue alien turns up, and a pink alien turns up, right? They'll go after them. They'll say, ooh, the pink aliens, they're not allowed in here. The blue aliens, that's what's going to happen. Honestly, it is going to happen. Yeah. We need to all work together. And I do think we need to do more with the world governments and stuff like that. I think once the aliens are here, once they're here, I think we need to maybe get rid of the world governments. I think we just need to have one kind of body govern. No, more like I wouldn't say have one person in charge. I would say have a load of people in charge. A different species for everybody. Like a Senate kind of thing. I really think that because it's I just don't want to see extraterrestrials picked on just because they're like purple.
No, just think about what we already have going on right now, man. There's this gal on TikTok. Her big spiel is that she was an in vitro baby. And you hear these stories about a doctor that decided to donate his own material to this projects.
Mm-hmm.
And end up producing hundreds and hundreds of children. She's one of these children. She discovered that instead of the donor profile that would be her father, that she was part Jewish. You should see some of the fucking remarks that this girl's been getting, man.
I know.
Like, oh, big nose, I've seen it. Oh, the satanic Jews. Oh, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Humans are terrible. We're racist buggers, right? And you can't do anything.
These people try to say that they're Christian. Christ was Jewish.
I know.
You're gonna say he's satanic? Yeah, hypocritical bunch of fucking morons.
Mm-hmm. Look, we need to start. The human race needs to start working together. And
exactly.
Stop going over stupid things. It's like what's going on now in the paranormal field and the UFO field. All the bullying and all the kind of crazy stuff that's going on now, because that's just getting out of hand.
I know there's certain groups trying to monetize it, who are getting pissing and moaning because certain people aren't falling in line with what they want to do, even though they don't offer any financial compensation. First off, this isn't for you to monetize. People should have the right to put out what they want to, with the only restriction being that making sure you obviously address sensitive topics, but in the same time, the only concern they have is making sure every technical aspect works so everything runs fine. That's it. And just for the fucking sake, the number of bullies and the number of insignificant morons who clearly have no self-respect, looking for other people who supposedly share the same fucking values.
Yeah.
And only step up to say what's really on their mind because they see someone else stepping up to play first and they think, oh, that person's saying it, it's okay to say it. Fuck you. Everybody who thinks that this should be taken as a monetary prospect or something to fill their fucking ego, fuck you.
Look.
God, I'm fired up today.
I'm really pissed off because somebody I know that has been getting picked on in the paranormal field and stuff like that. And it's really, really, really annoying, and I need to control myself because I don't want to say anything that I'm not going to regret. But see the bullying in the paranormal side of stuff, it has to end. It really does have to end.
Fuck up, you little bitches!
I think, to be purely honest, I think it's mere jealousy. I think it's like the males are like jealous of the women kind of thing. That's what I think it is. And it's all about, oh, I'm better, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that, I'm the next Zach Bagans. Well, who wants to be Zach Bagans? Because he was a total tit. Get what I mean? He fakes everything. Get what I mean? And it just pisses me off. I don't know why we kind of just all work together. I'm sick of folk that I like and sick of folk that I'm friends with getting picked on just because they're good at what they do.
That's the thing. People hate the fact that they're not being seen, and it all falls back on we don't want to let go of ego.
Yeah.
That's it. And the lengths people are willing to go just because, they think they're going to see these people on the computer, they don't ever going to see them in person. That's complete and utter bullshit.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. I mean, there's going to be a project coming. In fact, Chris, I'm willing to make you a bet right now.
Right.
I bet that one of the books that we have coming up to be released through Bald and Bonkers channels is going to flag and offend somebody because it talks about borderline personality disorder, which is something that needs to be raised awareness because as more and more people are coming out from abusive situations, more people are fitting the criteria to be diagnosed with this situation. And people who want to encourage a healthy relationships with these individuals have to understand why the person's brain works the way it works. And people are going to get offended because we decide to talk about it.
Exactly. There's Emerald Isles Paranormal, exactly what she says. Ego is destroying the real people who do real research and investigations. They really don't know who they hurt. It's terrible. And that is something I would like. Something I was going to say. I meant to say it last night on my show, but I'm only going to be streaming through certain networks now. I'm only going to be streaming through Bald and Bonkers, Ghost Squad Scotland network, and the Para Community. What's the other one we did? Para Bingway. I can't remember what's called, but anyway, it's not the other one. But I'm sizing it down to who I stream through from now on, just because of the bullying in the paranormal field and stuff like that. And it has to stop. It has to, because it is getting so annoying, and it is getting ridiculous. It really is, because it's picking on folk because they're better than you.
And
I mean,
I'm
seriously, I really get really annoyed right now.
I'm not dogging on anybody
Yeah.
who wants to try to gain some notoriety, okay? I've been involved in enough major projects that'd be kind of hypocritical on my part. I'm not going to dog anybody who wants to try to make a living because, let's face it, financial system kind of sucks right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not dogging anybody who wants to grow their numbers because with those numbers, that opens up more doors.
Exactly.
Okay? I understand the process, the grind, it's hard. But if you make that your sole focus, focus, you are destroying what what you claim to be out there for. You're not out there to try to find out what's going on, if there's any truth to the paranormal. No. You're doing this because you think it's going to make you famous, and those are going to be the people that die out and fade away into obscurity the quickest.
Yeah, it's like it's like in paranormal investigators out there. There's some absolutely amazing paranormal investigators out there, and people are trying to run them and tell them what to do and treating them like utter shit just because they're better than what they do, right? I am pissed off with this. I'll tell you, the drama in the paranormal right now is absolutely, the bullying is absolutely terrible. And I see it also in the UFO field. Big UFO people, I mean, like maybe writers and stuff, going after other UFO people just because they're jealous of them, just because they've got a TV show. And I'm not mentioning names, but I see it on Facebook all the time. Stop it.
Okay.
And I know that you watch this. Stop it.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of them that watch us, and there's been people who try to go to... There's been people that try to go to some of our least active channels where the numbers aren't as big and try to spout out there because they don't think anybody sees it. Guess what? We see it, and it's been taking every ounce of my strength not to post every single detail I find about you, because some of you are borderline criminal harassment, and post it up as a live stream. So you can see the type of damage you're doing to other people firsthand.
That's why I started see that Bald Bonkers network on Facebook, and obviously Ghost Squad Scotland network on Facebook. I started the Ghost Squad Scotland network on Facebook because MD can stream through there. I don't care who you are, as long as you're paranormal or you do UFOs. I'm not caring if you've got 5 subscribers, right? You can stream through there. If you want to join, just go and speak to one of the mods that's in there. I might be about, I might not be about. Speak to somebody in there. I'm sure they'll help you out. Emerald Isles, she's a paranormal in there. She's one of the moderators in there, or one of the assistants in there. Speak to her or whatever, and go through that. And see the great thing about me is, see with that network, and it's the same with your network, Dakota, you don't need to have all the icons splattered all over your thing when you go live. Yeah, you don't need that. We've got Bald and Bonkers up the top there, get what I mean? But that's all you need. You don't need... Get what I mean? But anyway, so what's the subject tomorrow, Dakota?
I think we're going to continue on this discussion, and let's just kind of focus on, what's possibly coming next with all these Senate hearings and all this coming about. There's a lot going on. And even Bald and Bonkers has quite a few projects, which do involve the Bald and Bonkers TV network. I'm not making it a requirement to slap our logo on it. If you want to, you can. But all I'm just gonna say, I will say, if you're going to do it, just make it look good. I mean, this is just me as someone who designs all this stuff. Just make it look good if you're going to do it.
See, that's the thing, right? That's what I've noticed, right? And this is a big thing, guys. We go Scotland and Bald and Bonkers. You don't need to use their logos. It doesn't really make... See when he's there live and it's plastered with hundreds of like pictures and YouTube signs and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't really make it look good. Just have it normal. Just have it normal and be individual and do what you want. That's why I started that Ghost Squad thing. So you can do what you want. You can do any lives that you want. And I'm no bad. I'd let the day the want in there. Okay, I mean, I'm not going to police you and I'm not going to bully you like some other folk, which I'm really pissed off at this week. So I'm trying to control myself, basically.
Well, Chris, knowing a bit more about behind the scenes of why you're getting pissed off, I understand and I commend you. But you got to remember, being it is who it is, it's not the first time he's done this.
Oh, I know. Must have about 4 times now.
At least since we've known him.
Yeah. So, guys, on that, happy note, I hope you all have a fantastic Saturday night. May the aliens come down, Dots, and take you away. That would be sitting with his cup of tea. Ken and Dots, when the aliens take him away, they've probably got a kettle and a big box of tea bags. Waiting for him.
I still got to look back at the episodes with Dots because I swear I saw something light up behind him. I got to look back at that because that there was something there.
Yeah. Yep. So we will catch you all tomorrow, guys, and we will keep up the subject of the UFO disclosure. And if Dakota disappears, he will see you on the other side.
Why am I the one getting killed off?
You're the one you're the one that just said if you disappear. Well, right? It's come and take me, aliens. Take me away to the planet Zam or whatever it's called.
And I'll just say this: tomorrow we're gonna have some news for you about Bald and Bonkers that I think y'all are going to enjoy.
Yes. So everybody,
with that, much love. Take care. Stay safe. Stay sane. Only a few of us can rock the bald haircut.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe anywhere you see Bald and Bonkers for even more insanity. Be sure to spread the love to the Bald and Bonkers boys' other endeavors. And a special thank you to our audience, guests, and everyone else who helps make this crazy ride happen. Amazing things are ahead. Learn more by visiting www.baldandbonkers.net. See you next time. Much love and take care. Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. From the deepest jungles to the outmost reaches of space and beyond the veils of death itself, the Bald and Bonkers boys are back for another episode. It's no secret that you won't know what will happen next, but Dakota Francis and Chris Moore promise that all bets are off. Viewer discretion and straitjackets advised. These two idiots live up to the name.
Oh, what is with that fucking delay, man?
Look, Ken, the trailer played for a full 1 second for me. It went spaceship and then this.
It didn't even do that. The only reason I knew that I was watching it on my end is because I had the YouTube tab up.
Interesting. Yeah. That is, young man. Interesting. This way, I'm just going to look this up just in case I can comment, because for some weird reasons, here's the comments are away again. At least I'm no froze. Yeah, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, having technical problems tonight. Mad, strange.
Yeah, Chris didn't believe me that his face was stuck on, constipation.
No, was that what it was like?
No.
Dots MC is in the house. Who else we got? Lawns. Welcome. Who else we got? Tanzia. Welcome. Ken Jackson. Welcome. See, interact, man. Interact.
Hey, I interact. We just got.
We don't.
Well, I'm sorry if people's egos are getting fed by the fact that we're trying to shoot a goddamn show.
I know. Damn you, Dakota! Damn you! You should be watching. You should be talking about me.
Well, if they want to have come on the show and to get their perspective on things, we're always looking for guests.
Dots, come on. He talks about the universe and the Galactic Federation and his big muggy.
I don't know if people can't fucking understand him.
I don't know. A wee bit of the Irish in me. Aye, I better watch what I'm doing. I expect
knockoffs. I expect Rockstar knockoffs to come out of China, not Ireland.
I'm surprised GTA 5 hasn't been copied by the Chinese. I really haven't.
It has.
Has it?
Yeah, copyright laws are very different in China, man. That's why they can get away with all those bootlegs.
I do ken that the Chinese will buy like a Bentley over here, take it to China, strip it down, copy all the parts, then put it together and put a different badge on it, and then say it's theirs.
It's happened before. The the little segways, little segways.
Right. The ones that burst into flames.
Yeah, China developed their own.
You ever heard of showing you them?
The original developers here in the U.S. tried to sue them, so the Chinese version of it bought the U.S. version.
Yeah. Have you ever had a shot in a Segway?
Are you feeling okay, man?
I'm really.
You look like you're stroking out. You're stroking out. My God, your stutter's bad tonight.
I'm just stuttering. It must be your end. Hello, Emerald Isles Paranormal. Look, have you ever had a shot of a Segway?
No.
Do you have? I thought they had them in like malls in America and that flee about in them and stuff.
I'm usually too heavy.
I've had a shot.
Besides,
they're quite interesting.
At my height, it looks like I'm holding handlebars near my crotch.
That just has a vision in my head there. Dakota, thank you. Every time I see a Segway now, I'm going to think of you.
It also looks like the same whenever I'm riding bitch on a motorcycle. Then again, I have to ride in the bitch seat just so I can stretch my legs out.
Have you ever rode a motorcycle?
Yeah.
Really? Wow. It's going to be like one of the things you see at the circus, isn't it? The wee teeny weensy wee bike about that size and the big
Damn close. Damn close.
You know how they train like the monkeys to pedal the bikes and stuff like that?
Yeah, monkey could probably get around better than I could.
That's very true. So, the subject tonight, Dakota, are we going back into the UFO field? Will the world still be here next year?
What? Continuation of yesterday's conversation, being that tomorrow is the start of August. We're already at the end of 2023. Oh my God. Time goes by so fast. I mean, just going off of what else is going on right now, can you imagine what the end of this year is going to be?
Oh, I was watching TikTok the night. I was watching a wee bit of TikTok the night for 10 minutes, and there was this guy, believe in Jesus, believe in Jesus, the demons are coming from beyond. He was talking about the aliens. The demons are coming, the rapture's coming. Buy my book today, and it will save you from the rapture at the very end of it.
You want to know something I find funny? Speaking of TikTok, we obviously have the big strikes going on in Hollywood right now.
Hollywood, that's that other thing. Yeah.
No, let me finish. Now, for those of you who don't know in the audience, Bald and Bonkers is actually a shareholder in a movie studio. That's actually not being really affected by the strike right now because we're not members of the assholes that are getting striked against. But anyway. So, kind of keeping an eye on the situation, trying to help where we can. I noticed something funny when it comes to TikTok. All these strike people are afraid about the use of AI, basically jipping them on their paychecks, right?
Yeah.
What does TikTok up and do? Everybody starts pretending to be little AI NPCs.
Yeah.
You've seen that?
I've seen some of that, yeah.
I'm just
I've
why is all these people are going for it? And I'm just like, why?
It's
actually play a goddamn Xbox if you're going to do that.
I'll tell you something. I seen something the other night there, and it was scary. I don't know if you've seen it because I know that you're into gaming and stuff like that, and I know you're in the gaming. You to help design games. I can't mind the guy's name. It was a YouTuber, and he was testing this new software. I think it was Unreal Engine 5. I think that's what it was. It was Unreal Engine 5. It was running. It was that Emerald Isles panel. That drives me insane. Look, it was Emerald Isles. No, Emerald Isles. It was Unreal Engine 5. What's that? That's one of the top graphics cards, right?
That's one of the best video game design programs out there right now.
It was also, the game had also an artificial intelligence in it.
I know.
And it was this city, and it was like GTA, and the guy was walking about, and he says, watch this. It doesn't matter who you go up to. I mean, there's thousands and thousands of different NPCs. Doesn't matter who you go up to. The artificial intelligence will talk to you through these people as a different person. And I was blown away. He was going up to cops. He was going up to like people that work in stores. And they were telling them stuff.
The game is The Matrix.
Is that what that is?
Matrix video game, if I remember correctly. But yeah,
I've never seen anything like that. I was like, fuck me. Can you imagine what we're going to be like in 10 years from now? And then it makes you wonder, are we in a simulation? Is this a simulation that we're in right now?
Because of how easy it is to replicate everything that is a human experience within robotics.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Search engines basically operate like human gossip. If they see, links being shared out to one specific website, they take that like gossip. Because, let's face it, what's going to be the one thing that influences people to go check something out? If they heard their friends say something about it. It's already happening.
What happens if, right, everybody thinks, right, God made the universe. I do think there was a creator, right? That's what I believe in. There was a creator that created this, right? But what happens if what he created was a computer program? In his sense, the universe and everything beyond it is all a computer program. When you die, you get uploaded back. You basically wake up out your pod, basically, and then you decide to come back again.
And it's one of those things where the discussions out of alleged ET tech, when it comes to like Starseed programs, that line is so fucking blurred. How can we tell?
Yep.
I mean, hell, there's CIA documents that detail cheat codes. Literally.
See, this is interesting, because I've noticed this lately. I've noticed that the UFO disclosure thing, since today, started to kick in. Have you noticed when TikTok?
Oh yeah.
That, it's like it started to explode. I don't know. It must be a Sunday thing. Everybody's not working or something like that, and they started watching TV and stuff. And it started to explode, and everybody's going. You've got all the Christian pastors out there standing, saying that the rapture's coming and all that, and the aliens are no aliens, they're demons, and they can't come down because there's a big globe of the earth and stuff like that. I think it's starting to affect the Christians and the religious people now. Do you know that? I think it's starting to say it, and
yes.
They're sitting thinking. Wait, if God made man and the Bible says this and the Bible says this, who made them and where are they coming from? I think it's starting to click.
Yeah. There's no other way to put it. One of two ways is it can happen. Unfortunately, the religious aspect, the tribalism in the human brain, that's going to cause some fights. As Ronald Reagan would always say, the one thing that's going to unite the world is a threat from outer space.
Yeah.
And they're going to still trying to push that these things that are coming, they are a threat. They can be a threat.
I think they're a threat. They're not a threat to us, but they're a threat to the government that's running this world right now.
Now, I'll say that they can be a threat if we piss them off.
See, this is the thing. I think we've got until 2024, and if the government hasn't basically fully disclosed everything, I think they're just going to show up one day, all of them.
Well, when you think about it, there's all of this talk about a 6-month ultimatum. Show everything in 6 months, or else.
Well,
we're already seeing a domino effect right now in the world.
I have heard tales today that supposedly in the next week or two, there will be video evidence submitted to the Senate and the public, and there will also be satellite photos, high resonance satellite photos of our little friends, which will be making its way out to the public. Yeah, it'll be making its way out to the public. Somebody I know that's in at the UFOs in a big way was telling me the day about it. He says, "Oh, have you heard about this? Seemingly, I don't know if it's going to happen. I'm just going to wait and see." But seemingly, the government are going to leak it. They're going to leak this high resolution spy satellite footage of like ships sitting. What's that in the chat?
Here's the thing that we have to ask, though. Whose ships?
That's a good question. Is it going to be the back engineered ones that we've built in our big hangars, or is it going to be ETs?
Exactly.
I mean, you can tell the difference because your ones are all got bolts and nuts and bolts on them together, whereas the ETs ones are basically nice and smooth and they don't have any joins in them.
Some of the more recent models that have been developed are starting to have that more sleek appearance. That's the thing, though. Because think about it. If we can't necessarily trust that they're going to be able to come down and show themselves, which my understanding of the situation, Galactic Federation of Worlds has given the okay for flying around Earth, even if it's some young pilots looking for a joyride. But what's going to be the best way to... Well, think about it. There's been a number of crashes where they were just sightseeing and something went wrong. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just a thing. Even that happens in outer space, so you can only imagine the type of shit they get up to. But in the same respect, we have a bunch of people that are still unknown about all that's going on, and we have some shiny pieces of equipment nobody's seen yet. And people have a nasty tendency to jump to conclusions.
See, I definitely think the technology, the first thing that has to be released here once all this comes out, has to be the technology. I think it has to be linked to the private sector so as we can start churning out like medibeds and stuff. I know some of them are getting made as we speak, but I think we need to look after our sick first. I think that's the first thing we need to do.
Oh, yeah. But here's the thing. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to push for the private sector to not have their hands on it because they don't want it to be monetized. They want this access to everybody.
It's like, you think about it. You think of what's going to happen to the financial system, what's going to happen to the pharmaceutical company when this happens.
I mean, think about it, Chris. Historically speaking, there was a time in history where hospitals... They charged, on the legitimate bill, they charged what it costs to, for like a bag of saline, meds, operation. They charged the actual cost of that plus a little bit on top for profit as a reasonable business practice. It wasn't until health insurance started kicking in that all these bogus prices were going everywhere.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm lucky. I live in the UK. The health system's free, basically. Right, you break your leg, it gets fixed. You've got cancer, you get looked after for free and stuff like that. But it must be terrible for like parts of America and stuff like that, where if you break your leg and you need an operation, it's going to cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars.
There's ways around that to get your medical bill lowered that the hospital tries to avoid, which technically is illegal on their part. But it still happens because people don't know how much power they really have. And let's face it, that's been kind of the problem this whole time. People don't realize the power that they have.
Exactly. What do you think, guys, in the chat? What do you think, guys, is going to happen? Obviously, Dots, we've had you kind of stuff, but can you hear people? What do you guys think is going to happen when everything comes out? And I mean everything comes out. Everything that serves the public has to be owned by the public. Full stop. Exactly. It used to be that way. It used to be that way when governments were first created. but now the governments control you. That's where corruption comes in. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And it goes to make you wonder, what the hell happened? You know? What the hell happened
Evil
to switch
people
it?
took over. Money took over. Greed took over. Bullies took over. That's what happened. That's what. I mean, you look at some Africa. That's what I put it on Facebook. Can I get banned off a page on Facebook just because I put something there? It was an EV car page, right? Everybody was going on about, oh, EV cars are great. EV cars are this. Of course, I went and see on TikTok. There's a video, and it shows you all the migrants and all the, what do you call it, the African stuff, and the children mining cobalt with their bare hands. I posted it in the band at the group. They says that's not allowed in here. And I says all it was just to show you where your cobalt's coming for your electric cars. That's a lie. Banned that and kicked me out of the group.
People think all of this pops out of their ass like with magic fairy dust. They don't realize what's being done to fuel the world as it is now. That's why there's situations like Operation Underground Railroad that have to pull kids out of fucking work slavery.
Yeah.
Walmart, the reason why they keep their low prices, they utilize Chinese sweatshops.
I find it quite interesting when you started talking about that there, your signal just totally dropped.
Right? Because we've been in contact with Operation Underground Railroad for someone from their team to potentially come on the show.
Was that in the chat there? Not sure what will happen exactly, but I know we got to be ready for people coming to all of us for questions. Exactly. I'll tell you the important people I think it's going to happen. See, when all this comes out, it's not going to be the pilots, and it's not going to be the government. I'll tell you exactly who it's going to be. It's going to be people like Elena. It's going to be people like Danny. It's going to be people like Dakota. It's going to be the people that have experienced this kind of stuff. Okay, I mean, honestly, I think you one day, Dakota, and honestly, and Elena and stuff like that will probably help bring about the new age for man. Okay, I mean, and it has to happen. We shouldn't be we're listening to pilots and all that kind of stuff, but I definitely think we should be listening to normal people to. I mean, look at Elena's story, how true it is, how real it is. Why not have her up there and talk about this? And then we could ask them, they could ask her what do they want and stuff like that. Yeah, obviously, I know what they want, you know what they want, but the normal people that are just waking it up.
But you also got to consider, Chris, that we're the whole reason why this gets put into place. That's the whole loophole behind, Starseed, is essentially start planting the seeds of acceptance.
Yeah.
In fact, did you know, this is a little bit of a plug for stuff we're going to have for sale here soon, but it fits into the conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Did you know that 2 of our new books that are going to be coming out are kind of talk about this exact same thing?
Yeah.
One is titled AI Hand Guide to Global Destruction, Global Domination.
That's a good name.
And guess what? It was written by an AI, and everything it details is exactly what's going on right now. And the second one, and I think a few people are going to enjoy this one, is Help, My Grandkids Are From Outer Space. We have a few other books in the line, but
I just pray to God that I've got none up there either.
But that second one, I was kind of impressed with how it put together because it brought in everything that's going on with UFOs right now, and the realization that people here on the ground may actually have relatives from outer space.
I think
not just because they're weirdos.
I think there's people out there that have no clue that they have family up there. Because the experimentation that was done on them, they tamed stuff for them, and they made people, they cloned people and stuff like that. And I think there's people in this world who's going to get a rude awakening. What's that there, Rodney Bristol? What's that? Spirit's funny, wasn't it? It's Said in Western Australia, B4 2020 for small town with my children.
Okay.
Right. I just wondered if there was anything you might add on to that, in case you didn't like.
Yeah.
You missed a wee
It's
bit
like,
there.
is there someone in the chat that we're not seeing? See, this is why I try not to focus too much on the chat, because the chat throws us off.
It's. I think it's fascinating what's about to happen. I will say this: I think something's going to happen this week. Something's going to happen this week or next week. I can feel something brewing, and it's nothing to do with what's happening in Europe now. It's today with all this that's coming out. See, there's been a lot of big UFO sightings, and yesterday there was a few over Arizona, Texas, New York City, and they're coming out, and they're blatantly just hovering about now. It must be quite interesting, because the extraterrestrials, they'll be sitting in that ship and they'll be like, do you think they can see us yet? Do you think anybody's noticed us yet? Do you think anybody's noticed us yet? Like that, looking down when I sat.
I would hope so, because the other night I was trying to get photos of something that I saw. Didn't realize I stepped into some mud and my foot fell about 6 inches into the ground.
Did you listen to the bit with the pilots that were talking about when they were chasing that UFO, right? And somebody asked, did it have any occupants? And one of the pilots went, he said, well, it's weird you should say that, because when we hit it with the thermal imaging on the jet, you could clearly see, like, as if it was a window, and there was like two little things that looked like heads just looking at us. And
yeah, they're fucking with it. They're fucking with the guys chasing them.
Aye. And I bet they could hear their conversations. I bet the aliens could hear their conversations in the jets.
It would not take much for them.
No.
I mean, let's take it to CE5. They highly recommend with the CE5 protocols, if you have like a walkie-talkie, hold it up to your phone as the tones are playing, because it would broadcast out your signal on radio frequencies that they would get.
This is something I'm going to put out there right now. If there's any extraterrestrials listening to this information right now as we speak, we've done a lot for you. Please come on the show.
Seriously. It's not the first time. It would not be the first time you've hijacked the signal so you could talk. We have full permission.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be interesting, is what Danny was saying about that thing that you're going to in Orlando. There might even be some ETs in the audience. And it would be interesting. Aye, it'll be interesting. I could just see them at the disco, everybody jump about. I'll just be like,
not really. I mean, they get into it.
So, because the thing, it'd be interesting if we could get one of them to come on. You don't need to show your face, by the way, if you don't want to show your face. Yeah, I mean, to tell us.
Maybe we'll get G Chen's Bob the Alien.
Right. I think they're quite. I think some of the alien races that's visiting us are very funny, because it's just some of the stuff that they've done. Because I watch a lot of the UFO stuff and that on TV and stuff like that, and some of the stuff that they get up to, I find it extremely humorous how they turned off their nuclear weapons. Right? They did it deliberately. Okay, I mean, and it just shows you it must put. You think about it, right? You're a general, right? You're a general in the military of Dakota, right? And right, let's just listen to this. So you're a general. You're in charge of this base, right? All these nuclear weapons, right? And then a wee glowing orb comes out, which nobody can stop. Turns the nuclear weapons off and then disappears. You know, see how funny that is? That's ridiculous, because he'd be sitting shouting himself, but what the fuck's going on here?
You know, one thing I've noticed when dealing with my situations, we all have this idea that these ETs, when they come down, they're going to be these holier than art thou people. No, just listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
That they're going to be these heavily enlightened, no absolute war. That's not the case. Even the high-dimensional, high-density ones, they're very human in nature.
Mm-hmm.
They have their favorite music. They have jokes they like to tell themselves. Just think about this. Think about how morbid some of our soldiers' sense of humor can be
Why?
here on Earth. Can you imagine what they have up there?
They're probably watching this. They know they're probably sitting back watching this as we speak. They're probably just sitting there watching this. All like they two bald idiots are starting talking again. Oh, it's him that's going out with your daughter.
I mean, there's this aspect I keep seeing within disclosure groups, new age groups, these groups about love and light that talk about these guys like there's some new religious deities, and even the ETs are like,
No.
"Stop it!
I have noticed that.
That's what the problem. That every time we try to talk to you guys, you do this. Stop it! It never works out."
There is people on TikTok that are now taking full advantage of this, and they're sitting there going, "Oh, I'm in communication with the Grand Lord of Uranus or something like that, some mad thing. Oh, and he's coming, they're coming, and he's told me that you must all donate $500 to me." Oh, and everybody's donating $500. Get what I mean? There is a few folk on that TikTok that the Cassius is quite good. I like him. Cassius is quite good. He's good. But there's folk on there that are just total fakers. Just total fakers. And there's a guy on there that knew, and he's a trans medium. He's a trans medium. And aliens come through and talk to him, and I've noticed he gets their names wrong. He'll come through and he'll say something about one bit of the solar system, right? And then maybe like 6 or 7 videos later, he'll do it again. He'll talk about the same solar system, but he'll get it all wrong. But it was different from the last time. You see where I'm going with this? It's just like made up. And he does that thing where he rolls his eyes. Look, loads of folk can do that where you roll your eyes. I can do it too if I want. It's easy to roll your eyes, right? But there's folk out there that are actually real. And they're going to get a shock. They're going to get a shock one of these days if they ever bump into them. The alien will go up to them and say, "Oh, you're that guy that speaks to us, aren't you?"
Oh no, some of them will have that sense of humor. Some of them will do it.
I think it's going to happen soon, but the government have to release everything they've got. Because see if they don't, I think whoever's in charge at the time is going to get into trouble. They're up there.
Quite a few are.
Yep. And
believe it or not, that General Van Herk that Elena always talks about, he's always still the one that's behind the NORAD track Santa every Christmas. Did you know that?
I did not know that. I did not know that. I think there's a lot of people in the military, a lot of good people in the military want this to come out, right? See, the only thing I didn't like about that hearing is they were portraying the extraterrestrials as bad, right? Like, I know that no all of them are good, right? I know that some of them are. What's that?
No, you just made me think of something. Hold on, I want to make sure I quote this right, so I'm pulling it up. Okay, keep going.
I know that no all aliens are bad, right? There's maybe that out there in the universe, there's going to be aliens that would eat you, right? Literally, have you for their dinner, right? And this is what has to be stated. I think we're safe on Earth now because I think we're protected. Nobody can touch us, right? We don't need to worry. We see when you hear news about asteroids, don't worry about that. See when you hear stories about asteroids and comets and nuclear war stuff like that, don't even think it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because they'll stop it. I can guarantee you that. Because if we detonate with just one nuclear bomb like we talked about last night, it's not just going to hurt us. It's going to hurt others. Mm-hmm. See, for all we can, we could be sharing on this Earth in a different dimension with a highly sophisticated race out on the Earth. There could be cities, but we can't see them because they're just outside of what we can see. Get what I mean? It's like that film. Was it Tomorrow World? You get the one I'm talking about, and it's like a different reality.
Oh yeah.
You kind of have to wear the wee pin so you can see into a different reality.
Yeah, Tomorrowland, the Disney movie.
Tomorrowland, yeah. And I think we have to be patient too. and don't get your hopes up just yet. Okay, I mean, I think it's going to take time, but hopefully it'll be within the 6 months. When did Dr. Stephen Greer start doing on about the 6 months thing?
That's
Is it nearly
since
up?
about last. No, I have it up on my end. What I was going to bring up, Dr. Greer, Dr. Greer in the White House. That's been going on since the beginning of June, if I recall correctly, when that countdown's supposed to go.
What's that in the chat there? How big? Where is it? How big do you guys think Project Bluebeam is going to be? Do you think a full-scale Independence Day? See, this is the thing with this Project Bluebeam thing. I don't think it's going to. I think the military are going to portray the good aliens as bad, right? And see when it happens, I'm going to be like, look, it's probably B-51 bombers dropping for high altitude bombs, and folk are going to think it's aliens. I don't think they would do that, guys. I really don't think they would do that. What's your opinion on this fake alien invasion thing that everybody keeps talking about?
All right, the push. All right, I do have something that a former CIA operative sent my way, actually. So, not just dropping that for just to get people's interest, but it's something to think about. Project Bluebeam, it's not going to go as structured as originally planned. Yes, that tech is there. Yes, the sophisticated holographic technology is there. They have some of the lower end models in frickin' Dubai projecting pictures of whales flying through the sky. But if you look closely at the whales, maybe it's something that, being that I don't need glasses where I can see, you can tell those look like something out of a low-resolution computer game.
Yeah.
They have much more sophisticated tech. Bob Lazar talked about it since like the 70s, that there would be projections that seemed so real, he would want to try to physically touch it. He knew that he wouldn't be able to touch it, but he wanted to touch it because he felt like he could touch it.
See, that's interesting you say that, right? Because in theory, you would need something in the atmosphere to help with that. See, this makes you wonder about the chemtrailing, right? It makes you wonder if they're spraying certain particles into the atmosphere of the Earth. Right, maybe it's to control the weather too, but maybe this will help when they go to pull this stunt off. Because they're spraying the atmosphere with like aluminum. And, I mean, insert particles. I mean, what was if they're going to use this? Oh, a big ginormous spaceship. Oh, look, there's a fighter jet. Shoot it and all that kind of stuff. But in actual fact, there's nothing there.
Yeah, let's keep our eyes open for the Unreal Engine logo when it starts. All of a sudden floating in the sky. That's a pretty big indicator. But here's the thing. When it comes to governments, did you know that their statistical research puts at 9-to-1 odds of life being outside the Milky Way galaxy?
Yeah. Got that.
Okay. And this is information directly from a CIA agent.
Just got to put my gloves on.
The idea of extraterrestrials being out there is not what they want to know. There's 3 questions that they believe are much more important. Is the non-human extraterrestrial life sentient and intelligent, meaning can it think and feel? Obviously, that's a yes.
Oh, yeah.
Does the non-human extraterrestrial life pose an immediate threat to national interests? Not necessarily. But 3, this is the part that's really getting them. Is there a reason to suspect that non-human extraterrestrial life will ally with an adversarial country and thereby become a threat to national interests? Being that the Galactic Federation does work with both the U.S. and the Russians, that's what they're trying to use as their excuse to spread this hate.
I would like to know who the extraterrestrials were that worked with the Germans during World War II.
Genovians.
Is that who it was? Because I was talking to somebody about this the other night, and and they say they left pretty sharply, and then the Germans started to lose the war. And I think that was
that
good
Maria
guys.
Orsic was allegedly in contact with the Genovians. They're the ones that live near Aldebaran. There is also a Lyran humanoid colony in that sector that works directly with them. The Genovians are actually an offshoot of the Anunnaki.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember directly off the top of my head. They're kind of freaky looking when you first deal with them, but that Maria Orsic was a good looking as well.
I like the blue ones for Andromeda. I think they're quite cool looking. I like them.
Hey, maybe that's where your fascination with the three-titted purple women comes from.
That's weird, that, by the way. That I'm telling you, maybe that's what that is. Maybe it's just an imprint.
Because some of them are kind of purple.
Because let's face it, these extraterrestrials out there, they do they go out for a drink at night and stuff like that. Get what I mean? Discos, and I don't know if they're into that kind of thing, but it might be a distant memory. Get what I mean? Might have seen it with you. I might have been aboard the spaceship and you were there and we're all dancing around about you and stuff like that. I don't know. It might be a ritual or something. We sat in the chat. The Colony Jedi. What's that?
That's the name of the colony, the human colony in that sector. I know, Leba, but we're trying to attune this for the sleepers as well. Keep things easy because
here a question.
Even this one gets...
Obviously, there's bad intelligence races out there. Is there any intelligent races out there that look like us, but which better now, that look exactly like humans, right? But they're dicks, and I mean, they're evil dicks. They're bad.
Yeah, there is.
Who is it? What's their name?
They're from a spot in the Pleiades known as Talihara. But it's not... They're the ones that sided with the Draconians. However, there are active efforts to get them to switch sides. There's quite a few of us that broke free. But... because we started to realize, hey, this ain't right. But they are getting ready to flip sides.
There's an interesting thing in the chat there. Do you guys believe in certain movies are reflecting what is real, like certain sci-fi movies? See, that's quite interesting. I mean, the Independence Day movies, the aliens are actually real. But they're no...
Yeah, the Negamuk. They're on ours. That's what they're called.
They're highly sophisticated for what I've been told. Their weapons are meant to be absolutely amazing. No, but I've heard that their weapons are meant to be amazing.
They scare the shit out of the Draconians.
What about What about Predator? Somebody tell me they're real.
The Prometheans. The Prometheans. Yeah. If you look at them carefully, they do look like some of the more humanoid-looking Anunnaki. But yeah. Nearly every sci-fi film out there has some sort of basis in real life that could potentially be out there. Now, let's take the Avatar movies, the one about the big blue guys.
That's cool. Yeah.
You also got to remember, ladies and gentlemen, that Spielberg got the idea for that movie because of a mushroom trip. Literally.
Yep.
He was high on mushrooms when he got the idea for that script.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen King was high on cocaine when he came up with Pennywise.
Who was the director that did the Alien movie? Was it? And he said they had met them. Well, who was that? Who was that director? It wasn't Star Wars, was it? It was. No, Star Wars. It was
what alien movie? What director of what alien movie?
It's just popped into my head and I can't remember what the fucking thing it is now. I hate that. That's what happens when you get old, ladies and gentlemen.
Sure,
it's in the tip of my tongue.
Blame it on that.
What do you call it? Oh fuck! Mind blank. I hate
All right,
that.
talk the plot. Talk the plot. Come on, talk it through, Chris.
Oh, come on, we were talking about it the other night. We were talking about it last week. We were talking about the director that actually had an encounter with these extraterrestrials and he made the movie. And it wasn't E.T. Was it? Oh, was it? It was, what do you call it? Table Mountain. What do you call it? It was Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Was it not?
Aye, yes. It's not that they necessarily met them. It's that the director actually had access to Project Blue Book files on ETs, and the main guy behind Project Blue Book cameoed in that movie as well.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
But,
I mean, there's a lot of actors out there in Hollywood and that, the nice ones that have actually had encounters with little green friends. I don't know why everybody calls them little green. Because somebody says to me, they say, see when the aliens come, are they little and the green?
a couple of them are.
What's the weirdest extraterrestrial out there? Do you get any of that size? Like, because you get that Men in Black, you get the Men in Black, didn't you? With the, what do you call it, the wee folk.
Yeah, no, the little ones where you're talking, they turn into like little chess pieces.
No, I'm talking about the one that drives the robot or whatever it is, this robot human.
You haven't seen the new one.
I've seen them all. I'll tell you the one you're talking about.
The one with Thor?
He's a pawn, and he plays a pawn on a chessboard.
Yeah, okay, but
No.
Allegedly, there was an incident at a African school where a group of like 30 kids, they were all playing out in the playground, and this tiny 3-foot, I think it was like a 3-foot ship showed up, and this little guy, yay big, came out and actually shot one of the kids. Only left a little burn mark. But all these kids swear up and down that they saw these things. There is one report of something tiny, and kind of greenish. But yeah. Kid actually got shot about one of these things.
Because I always wondered that if they were, because obviously they might just be really, really small aliens out there. Yeah, I mean.
Because look at the variety of life here on Earth.
I know.
That alone should be a reason why we've got to stop just trying to look for the humanoid-looking ones. Stop looking at worlds that may be able to support us. Because we have so many different forms of life here on Earth. We're just a small sample of what is completely potential. And that's not even including the multiverse.
Look at the highly intelligent beings that are on this earth that share this world with us, like dolphins, for instance, and whales. Mm-hmm. Dolphins are highly, highly intelligent. Did you know that there's been stories where dolphins have actually saved people? There's been stories where people have been, their boats sunk out at sea, in like the Mediterranean, and dolphins have came across them, and they've basically stood with them and taken them to like islands and stuff like that to save them. Mm-hmm. So it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder if one day we could communicate with them. It makes you wonder if the Galactic Federation could actually maybe communicate with these other life forms.
You also got to consider, there's been several occasions where full-on blue whales will try to tug divers underneath their fins. Then divers have no clue what's going on. They're honestly getting a little afraid because obviously it's a blue whale. If that thing starts to flap around, you're dead. Mm-hmm. Not because it's trying to kill you. It's just fucking huge. Then they go to realize, because they had a GoPro running, that there were sharks trying to swirl them, and the whale was keeping them off.
See, I'm going to sidetrack this a bit off the UFO subject now.
What else is new?
I think, I know. I think a lot of like mammals and sharks and dolphins and all that are highly intelligent, and I don't think they're stupid at all. There was a case, and I don't know where it is. Maybe the chat can help me. I think it was somewhere near. It was somewhere in the Mediterranean, somewhere, and there was a canoeist. Right, he lived in the village. Right, and he went out in his canoe, and he was out canoeing along, and there was a great white shark, and it was caught in fishing line, and it couldn't. It was suffocating. So he taken his knife out and he cut it free, right? And the shark swam away, right? The next day he's out in his canoe, and he's just out there doing the same thing, and the great big shark comes up. It didn't do nothing to him. It came alongside him for about a year. Every time he went out, that shark came up to say, "Oh, hello," like that, as if it was saying thank you, and then it would swim away again. So it just shows you. I think that animals, mammals, are very, very intelligent, and that's John Morris says octopuses are also very intelligent. They are
sneaky bastards too.
Oh, they are. Have you seen an octopus? By the way, they can fit in a hole that size.
Do you know how many?
They get inside a bowl.
Okay, there's this aquarium that has this one octopus that tends to be a bit of a troublemaker. Not only had he figured out how to break out of his tank and go to other tanks, he figured out how to go through feeding lines. He also apparently figured out how fucking security cameras work.
Yep.
Because he would be caught trying to squirt water at it to damage the camera. For fuck's sake, that's a little scary. Cool, but scary at the same time.
I seen a video one day, right? And it was a glass bottle, and the divers were watching this octopus, and the glass bottle was in the seabed, and this big massive octopus come along, and inside at the very back of the bottle there was a wee bit of fish, a wee bit of dead fish, right? And it went inside the bowl. Yeah. It went through the wee hole, ate it, and then it came back out again.
Yeah.
I mean that's just ridiculous. See, we don't know things about our oceans. We don't know what's underneath the deep oceans of the Pacific, the Mariana Trench. I think there could be cities down there right now. There could be all sorts of strange things down there right now.
Chris, that could be an entirely different show that would just look into the conspiracy, why NASA all of a sudden switched from studying the ocean to studying outer space.
Exactly.
That could be an entirely different show.
Maybe we need to get an expert on for that, because maybe they were told to basically piss off and do not come back here again. Same with the moon.
Well, with the moon, it wasn't necessarily that they were told to back off. It was just that somebody already beat them.
Yeah. And they were living there. Was that all good, guys? Just me, love you, guys, and conversation, I agree with you guys. Thank you very much.
The chat just kind of deleted half of itself on us.
How did that?
I have no clue.
I can see everything.
Not on our end, on the Streamlabs end. That wasn't the most recent chat. That was like 25 minutes ago when that came out.
That's weird.
That is weird. Oh well, the things we trade off for when we go to a cheaper platform.
I know, but at least it doesn't lag out like the rest stuff. I ken that the trailers are bad for some weird reason, but it doesn't do it to me on a Friday night.
I know, it only does it when we're together, not when... Shit, so we gotta be careful if we go to do an anniversary show this October.
That's right. That'll be our anniversary. How many years? 2?
It'll be 2 years since the first show we did.
Wow.
On this.
I would like to get Danny and Elena on, if it was possible. I ken they're really busy, but I think that would be a hell of a show, by the way. I think that would be one of the...
I think they'd be willing to make an exception for us.
Oh, and we're live on Tuesday night. Tell everybody about the live we're on Tuesday night.
What are we doing Tuesday night?
We're on Danny's channel, remember? It's being recorded.
Oh! Yes! Danny Henderson, Blonde and Bonkers. Should have changed the name of that episode to that, but... Danny Henderson decided to invite Bald and Bonkers on for an interview, and she's going to be dropping it this Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, I believe it was.
And 12 a.m., what do you call it, UK time? GMT.
So, yeah.
Yep.
So I was just about to grab a link so we can push it in the chat.
You know, wait do you see
And
wait do you see the picture?
oh, why? Okay, that I could have shown the one of you in the bikini.
But I look good in that one.
Yeah, you had a nice blonde wig, and
I know you've got a fascination with men in bikinis. I don't know what that's about, by the way. It's very strange.
I'm concerned about you finding out about certain people as hairdressers.
I don't know, but anyway. I don't know what to say. I just don't know anymore. Do you know of any other news? Because last night you said you would have some news for everybody.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I've got a bit of memory. Close Encounters of the Third Kind for Jenny.
Yeah, that was the name of the movie. We're late to the party there, Jenny.
Oh, she's got the cold.
Oh, sorry. Anyway, so as some of you may know, we actually had the Bald and Bonkers TV network. We have a couple new shows joining the lineup. We have Typical Skeptic Podcast. He's now in the rotations. For those of you who may be interested in getting linked up, all you have to do is have a YouTube channel with embedding turned on so we can run it on our end. Easy as that. We are going to be... Our goal is by 2024, we will be expanding onto Roku. So, come with us.
Yay!
Come hang out. And as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, we have a few new books that are going to be coming out from us as well. Here, I'll read off a couple of the titles here. Come on, load up. Don't be shy. Come on. There we go. See, we have Maximize Your Podcast for Low Cost. That is going to be sort of a companion book to go along with the online course we're going to be offering soon. We have a couple of ones that focus a bit on mental health, surviving survivor's guilt, and battling borderline personalities. Don't worry, it's not to attack anybody. We have the AI Hand Guide to Global Domination. The AI Hand Guide to Global Domination. Help My Grandkids Are From Outer Space. Let's see. Pondering the Paranormal and Are You Afraid of Ghosts? Books we're going to try to tie in with our anniversary this October. And we also have Macro Energy Micro Penis. Living Your Best Life in Spite of Your Shortcomings. That's going to be on September 5th.
What was that?
Macro Energy Micro Penis.
Was this like a new pill you're taking or something?
Nope, that's going to be the title of the book that comes out on your birthday.
I'm terrible at it, ladies and gentlemen. Honestly, I just don't know sometimes. I really just don't know.
Hey,
I thought it was a new company.
Hey, you're the one that needs those pills. Spending all time.
Yeah, I don't need them. I
Xbox.
can assure you that.
Are you sure about that? All that time you spend on Xbox, it's going to be cutting off some necessary blood flow. And it might just be shrinking just a little bit. I feel sorry that your lady friend isn't listening.
He's terrible. He's terrible. So tell me about your lady friend. Will Damocles be going to the big event?
We're not seeing each other.
Oh, you would make a lovely couple too.
And yes, she's going to be there. That's the whole reason why I pushed to get the tickets. And I just got my hotel booked, so I'm all set.
So there you go.
Knock it off.
What?
Okay,
He gets so embarrassed, guys. You have to watch. He gets so embarrassed. Don't embarrass him in the chat. Whatever you say, don't embarrass him in the chat. Oh my God, Dots.
Oh, leave it to the Irishman.
Honestly, I just don't know. I just.
What do you expect from a company from Bald and Bonkers, man? We're gonna have some wacky ones.
I'm surprised you haven't brought like a custom T-shirt out yet. Let's say something stupid on it.
Well, we already have the.
I know.
I'm not bald. My hair's a ghost.
That's alright.
I know, just a little, baldness joke. You gotta have fun.
So, do you have any plans for this week? Are you in any guests on any shows that people can tune in and watch it? Obviously, we're watching Tuesday night, but Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, nothing happening.
Be careful what you say, man. With all this chaos that's going to be going on, there's going to be a spike in deaths. That's something that's kind of I've been curious about.
What's that?
What happens when disclosure finally comes through to everybody?
We're going to have to find a new conspiracy to talk about.
No. Think about it. Not what I'm talking about. Not what I'm talking about. Everybody who's part of the Starseed deployment. What happens then once the mission's done?
You either get to stay or you get to come home.
So let's just think, how many of us are going to get ready to disappear once the mission is complete?
Take me home!
You're only going to get lucky that one time.
No, but I'm not picking him up. He's not coming back for 1,000 years.
No, we're not taking him, and we're going to grant him immortality so we never have to see him again.
I'll tell you something new, I would take that. Floating about space somewhere, in a wee rock somewhere. I can pitch my tent on the moon or something like that. I don't know.
Well, you're not going to be able to pitch much up with a micro penis.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I just don't know, ladies and gentlemen. See, this is what's wrong. It needs a woman. Any women out there, single or old folks home, because we have got someone in the old folks home that watches this. This young man is single.
No, I'm not.
I'm not. That's a question I've got for you. Right. I've got a question for you, actually, right? Say you meet somebody on the earth, right? You get married and you have 2 kids. You get married, right? Right, you get married on the earth, right? And then say a couple of months later, your wife and kids turn up for space. What happens there? Do you all share the same house, or is that like both different houses or something like that?
I gotta admit, that is actually kind of an interesting question. But again, I'm not single.
But as a question, what do you do? What do you do?
That is a very interesting question. I don't know, because when you think about it,
do you share the house, or you become a Mormon, or whatever it is?
Because when you think about it, technically, there is a slight possibility that woman up there and the woman down here are technically the same person. When you... Yeah, no, this is getting into a paradoxic kind of situation.
This has got to be a kind of this has got to be like Back to the Future kind of scenario kind of thing, isn't it?
A little bit. Unfortunately, the mechanics of time travel and Back to the Future are bullshit. So
hello, Drew.
If only it was that simple.
But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully this week some more news will come out. And if you never see Dakota or me again, know that we've been abducted and we've been took back to our home planet. Dakota will be standing... Tell me, when you do go back, Dakota, will you be standing there with your long, wavy, blonde hair?
It's not blonde, it's more of a brunette.
Brunette? Well, brunette, combing it back. That's will I chip in and buy you like a hairdryer or something. What's that? Drew's Abandoned Planet. I rewatched. I thought it was 11. Oh, yeah, fine. It's a time paradox. Do not adjust your laptops or computer screens.
Oh, you can, because we are going to get ready to end the show here.
Goodbye, everyone. Love long.
Stay safe. Much love. And maybe I'll need to get a new co-host.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe anywhere you see Bald and Bonkers for even more insanity. Be sure to spread the love to the Bald and Bonkers boys' other endeavors. And a special thank you to our audience, guests, and everyone else who helps make this crazy ride happen. Amazing things are ahead. Learn more by visiting www.baldandbonkers.net. See you next time. Much love and take care.